It's time on Hobby Journeys. We're doing part 1, our review of the year in Warhammer from January to June.
Hello, welcome to Hobby Journeys. So we're going to be doing a review of 2024, last year. So,
it's last year now, isn't it?
It is last year, yeah. Yep, so we're going to be looking at all of the Warhammer reveals, releases, all the things from Games Workshop for the past 12 months, because it's the new year, and as is fairly traditional with some of these things, we like to look back at the previous year. And we did this last year, didn't we? We did a three-parter. So I'm sort of thinking, this might, I don't know how many, so we're going to film these back to back. I'm going to be honest, I have no idea how long this is going to end up. So we'll probably divide it up accordingly and we'll work out as we go along. But God knows how long this is going to be. You know, we'll see shortly, I'm sure.
Hours.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've been a bit slow with our hobby this year, haven't we? We did do a fair bit.
We're very busy now, aren't we?
We are very busy. You've got a football team you play for, and that takes a lot of
high school homework.
You're at high school now.
I'm a big boy now.
You are, yeah, a big boy now. Yeah, so we've got a lot on, but you started a new army, didn't you, this year? So what did you start? Started Space Wolf army, didn't you?
Oh, not Space Wolves.
Yeah, so and we finished. We've got a tactical squad or a squad of intercessors even finished.
And we've got Ragnar, is it?
We've got a few ready and built to be made.
Ragnar and Braun, isn't it?
Yeah, Ragnar and Bjorn the Fell-handed Dreadnought.
Who doesn't even have a fell hand, he's got a gun in his head.
Yeah, so we're going to do some painting very, very imminently on those, aren't we? We did go one squad finish, didn't we?
Yeah.
I started a new army. I started the Dark Angels army, of which I managed to complete 3 miniatures last year. You know, it wasn't an impressive tally. Yeah, I know.
Impressive.
I am almost done with 5 intercessors though. We're so close. I will have those done in the next couple of weeks.
You're worse than me though. We are painting. You buy stacks of miniatures.
I do.
Then paint this many. Then I'll buy that many miniatures, and I'll paint about the same as you. But at least I'm not buying like thousands of pounds.
I had such good intentions. I bought 2 boxes of intercessors, a box of heavy intercessors, and all the Dark Angels spruce stuff, with the intent that would take me up to Christmas. So that'll be enough miniatures to last me through to Christmas. I painted 3 of them. It wasn't even any of them. It was the flamey chaps from Leviathan. I painted 3 of them.
Yeah, you did that, didn't you?
But I did almost finish 5 intercessors. They were very close. They're very close now.
They're up there.
They are up there. I've got 3 in the case. I'll have another 5 in there soon, and I'm determined by May this year we're going to Warhammer World to have a good proportion of those miniatures done, so I can justify buying some more. Right, shall we get into this?
Yeah.
Shall we get into a review of 2024? January. Started off with Warhammer The Old World core box set. So this was the old Warhammer Fantasy Battle, rebranded and reissued as Warhammer The Old World. So this core box set went up. So you got the rulebook, you got an army in there, and the army is the Bretonnians. Basically, the essence is a medieval army, knights, longbowmen. You know, there's quite a big difference between
something the Normans would use, really, because they use a lot of longbowmen.
Well, the longbowmen, more the Plantagenets. So longbowmen quite famous for the Battle of Agincourt or Cressy. You know, 100 Years' War basically. So they were a bit later on. They were more the Plantagenets who were basically followed on from the Normans. Anyway, there's English history for you.
Wait, how did the Plantagenets happen? Like, because they were French, weren't they?
Yeah, but our royal family was pretty French. Anyway, that's history. We're not here to talk about English history.
No, but I love English history.
Yeah, you do. I'll tell you all about it later. So there were 2 box sets. One was the Tomb King, so you had a Tomb King army.
So you did have a Tomb King army.
Yeah, I think most, to be fair, of these miniatures are old miniatures from Warhammer Fantasy Battle.
Just like refurbished.
Yeah, so some for refurbishing.
Like bigger and...
I don't think even bigger. I think they're just the original cast, pretty much. So, you know, we had... 2 armies. You got some knights. Oh, there you go. Some lady with a spear.
I meant the lady. That's who you said.
Pegasus. I don't think she's a lady from the lake. There is a sort of lady from the lake sort of character. I forget. I've not read the lore for years. Lots of Pegasus knights. That's a thing.
But where did they get the Pegasus from?
It's warm and fancy battle. There's all sorts of creatures,
yes,
you know.
Fancy.
Yeah,
Wait,
absolutely.
so is the Tomb King based off Egyptians then?
Yeah, they're basically undead Egyptians.
It's
yeah, that's the thing. You used to have an old force of the undead, which featured basically sort of vampires and ghouls and stuff like that.
A bit like how you have in Blood Bowl.
Yeah, exactly like you have in Blood Bowl, because they're basically exactly the same thing.
You have vampires.
But you had the undead, and they incorporated the Tomb Kings as well. So the Tomb Kings were sort of like skeleton warriors with a bit of an Egyptian theme, and they were all just the undead, a generic undead. They might come from a sort of Egyptian bit of the fantasy battle world. They might come from the sort of European bits of it.
Romania.
But then they split them off. There was a schism. Yeah, between the...
what does that mean?
A split, basically. There was a split, and it happened. This is just after my time, actually. I completely missed out on the Tomb Kings in my time playing Fantasy Battle. I was playing Fantasy Battle through to about 96. And they, so there was a split, and they created it as an undead army, which is sort of vampires, usually led by a vampire count or a necromancer or something. And then you had the Tomb Kings, who were Egyptian themed. So there you go. Anyway, so these are the Tomb Kings. Now, these have been quite looked forward to because they were much bemoaned when they were basically killed unceremonially when they created Age of Sigmar. So they were part of Fantasy Battle, and they just said, that race is no longer part of the game.
Yeah, no more.
Gone. But yeah, so, you've got, skeleton chariots, skeleton cavalry, what, no idea what that is. You got all the things. So what are you thinking?
You got snakes.
Absolutely. So what are you thinking about the old world from this initial box set?
They're more funny than anything.
Yeah.
You've got they're riding snakes.
Well, it's typical Warhammer craziness. I mean, that's what we're here for, I loved Fantasy Battle. There were more releases than this through the year. We will see some more a little bit later on. I'm not going to feature every single army, mainly because a lot of them are just reissues, and
that'd be a bit boring.
Well, it's fine, but I think we'll give more focus on the old world when we start seeing a bit of new stuff.
Anyone over the age of 20 would just know it all, wouldn't
they? I mean, it's going to be one of two things happening that brings our focus onto the old world. It's going to be some new stuff coming out, some real, big new range refreshers, or refreshing my favourite ever kit of all time that I never got, which is the Empire War Wagon. Spoilers.
You've mentioned that before.
I have. We looked at it when they previewed it previously. But anyway, so that was that. So we also had Deathwing. So over Christmas of 2023, so immediately prior to this, we'd had the reveal of a big release of new stuff for the Dark Angels. The Deathwing are the first company of the Dark Angels. They wear bone-coloured armour.
You tried to make an army like them, didn't you?
No, I had my own So that's a convoluted story because I'll keep this short for the viewers. But I painted a bone-coloured armour with red pauldrons and gold livery. The reason I painted the bone-coloured, I'd always wanted to paint Deathwing, but I'd had a load of bits. I had a Blood Angel army. I had a load of bits left over, so I decided to do a Blood Angel successor chapter, but paint them with bone-coloured armour. And I did them for ages, and then just thought, why don't I just do a Dark Angels army? So that's what I did. So I'm painting them at the moment. So I will be doing a lot of these bone-coloured armour. Space Marines, the Deathwing, they are all in Terminator armour. We had some special Deathwing Knights revealed. We've got any pictures of them here? We haven't. See if we can zoom in a bit. Let's do a little zoom in. There we go, that's a bit bigger, isn't it? So you've got these Deathwing Knights up here with the swords. They can also have a mace, I think.
What are those tiny things?
What are the tiny things? Oh, these are teleporter. Oh, so you've got these guys. These are... I can't remember what you call them. I think they're called Watchers in the Dark. The little fellas who follow after all the Dark Angels. They're like tiny little guys, and no one really knows what they are. Are they ancient?
Oh yeah, because the lion has a load around him.
He does, so all the characters have them. I think they're quite cool. I've got a couple of these.
Didn't he have one like holding something for him?
His sword, carrying his sword, or a book, or whatever. You've also got these teleport modules. Basically, so lots of guys in Terminator armour, and I think this guy is called Belial. I think that's Belial, who is the chapter master of the Deathwing, if I remember my lore, which I should do because I'm painting Deathwing, I'm painting Dark Angels as an army now, so I should know my stuff. But My memory's awful. But yeah, so we got 16 Terminators and these bits and bats, guys. Good box. It's well sold out now. Well, it's it's gone. But these miniatures are all available. It was part of a larger reissue of the Dark Angel range. And I think we might come to a few of those later on. So we had that. We also had.
Jeez.
We also had Kroot. So Groot? No, not Groot.
I am Groot.
That'll be great. They should do a Groot on. Well, it's basically tree men, isn't it?
Yeah,
tree men, yeah, just tree men, isn't it, really? But yeah, so the Kroot are a sort of subspecies within the Tau Empire. The Tower of Force we haven't looked at a lot because there hasn't been many new releases. We have seen there is sort of robotic suits.
That was a couple.
Yeah, these guys are. So we had a box come out, but
and
yeah.
they're like native warriors of the
They are
Tau.
like native warriors. They're basically a planet that was conquered by the Tau, but the Tau are very into, and by contrast to the Imperium, they will incorporate any species they conquer into their own army. And these guys, I quite like them. I mean, I'm not going to collect them. I have enough of my own stuff, and they don't really do enough for
that's
me.
what the Imperium does?
No, they wipe out.
Oh.
They really don't like any Xenos. Yeah, any species they conquer
Sounds like
are
humans.
pretty dead.
Sounds like humans done it.
Or, there you go, yeah, absolutely. A little bit of a controversial political viewpoint from Matthew.
That's definitely what humans would do.
The human condition and all that. But yeah, so you got the you got this new range of Kroot. These are guys I like.
Oh, I remember that miniature when it came out.
Yeah, we looked at these at the time, riding big gorilla-sized Tau with guns strapped to the head.
But that's, that's still a Tau.
They're basically they're a Kroot. Sorry, Kroot. I should have said Kroot. I said Tau.
So those are the actual Kroot, and then those are Tau.
No, these are Kroot. These are a subspecies. These are like a sort of. I can't remember if they're an actual Kroot or a Kroot-like species.
I think they're a Kroot-like species.
Yeah, but they've just evolved slightly differently. So these guys are a bit more clever,
A bit like
riding
the
with guns.
chimpanzees in us.
Yeah, exactly.
Gorillas.
Yeah, so.
Oh yeah, that might be.
Oh, there we go.
That might be you. That might be Jellybean.
Yeah, so we've got this Kroot riding the guy. Yeah, it's good that. I like the Kroot. Yeah, so we got a box set come out. There was.
The fact that they're meant to be natives, but they have like guns, is a bit.
Well, but the Tau would have given them guns, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, again, going back to a parallel in on the planet Earth, the Native Americans often did use rifles that were provided by the Europeans who rather invaded the Americas, I believe. Yeah.
Didn't a lot of Native Americans get armed by like the British to fight in the armies?
Yeah, well, yes, they also did. They got recruited into the various armies. But yeah, anyway, there we go. So a bit more history there. But yeah, so we had this box that came.
Talk about a lot of history here, don't we?
We do. That came along with with the Tau Codex, I think, to supplement it. Also, so this was revealed at the LVO, so the Las Vegas Open. There were a few reviews.
Over that last year.
I did the year before. There was some really good stuff. This year with the Kroot, they don't really, I do like the Kroot. I'm glad they exist. I know a lot of people really like them. They're not really it for me. I think they're fine. They're all right. The gorilla riding guys. Brilliant, but not enough for me to go out and collect an army of them or anything like that. But I do like them.
Why don't you just get the gorilla riding ones and then turn them into Dark Angels?
I'm sure I could. I'm sure I could pop a Dark Angel on the back of this fella.
Probably.
Yeah, to get this guy off there and get a Dark Angel on the back of that riding it.
I don't think, like you said, they're not very open to Xenos, are they?
They're really, really not. But it's my army. I could do what the bloody hell I like. So here we are. Anyway, we also had a reveal of the Solar Auxilia for the Horus Heresy.
That's when it first came out, wasn't it?
No, this is the Horus Heresy, so it's been out for a little while.
Oh.
But prior to this, it was always Space Marines.
Oh, that's what came out, isn't it?
Legions Imperialis came out, yeah. So the Horus Heresy had been out for quite a while, or at least a year or so. But this year, what we had was these. We had the Solar Auxilia. So these are basically the equivalent of the Imperial Guard.
Don't we play Solar Auxilia in...
You do. So Legions Imperialis comes with the Solar Auxilia and Space Marine factions to play as, to give a bit of a distinction. But this was the first release of Solar Auxilia into the Horus Heresy. We had some tanks. This is a transport tank, I think.
Tank. It's meant to be a transport tank. Why does it have a gun on the front? And missiles.
Well, you got to protect your men, aren't you? As you deliver them into battle. Gun on top as well. But yeah, this what.
80-80.
I think we talked about this at length at the time, and my view was I don't like that walker.
Knock off 80-80.
It's ATST. I think you will find, because the 80-80 was the four-legged walker.
Oh, yeah.
I think you will find. God, get your Star Wars right.
I'm mudded through the entire Star Wars thing anyway now.
Yeah, but yeah, we've got this new Lehman Russ. I really like this. I think this is fantastic. I really like the Lehman Russ tank for 140,000, but I just think this look of it is just so good. It's so, I love all the detail.
I like the tank barrel.
Yeah, I like the bulldozer blade. I like all of it. I just like the design of it. I think it's.
I don't like bulldozer blades.
Well, you can always leave it off. I don't think you have to have it. I think that's fine. You can do what you like with it.
It would give more protection in real life, though, wouldn't it?
You've got some variants for like Demolisher Cannon. I think this is great. I think if I was going to do an Imperial Guard army for 40k, I'd be buying these Lehman Russes and not the 40k one, to be honest.
Didn't I get a Lehman Russ?
You have got a Lehman Russ kicking around we've never built.
We haven't even looked at it, have we?
Not even opened the box. Maybe this year will be the year for your Lehman Russ.
Probably not.
Who knows? Well, to be fair, we could just airbrush it. It'd be fine. But yeah, so it was a good initial release. There were a few other bits and pieces through the year for the Solar Auxilia. This was an initial box set to go with the launch of the range. What do you think to the Solar Auxilia in Horus Heresy?
Cool.
Yeah, I like these.
Thumbs up.
I like the tanks. I like the Lehman Russ. I think it is good.
Can you go back to the ATST knockoff?
You want to look at the ATST knockoff, except with a massive head comparative. I think it's fine. It doesn't really.
I'd buy it because of how funny it is.
It is. I just think it looks a bit derpy, and I prefer my miniatures not to look. Yeah, I prefer my miniatures to not look derpy.
Yeah, that's true.
Fine though, I guess. I don't object to its existence. I just,
funny.
Fine. But the Lehman Russ, I really like. I do like the tank as well. The infantry are good. Were there any pictures of the infantry?
No.
I don't think there were there? They've got their pictures here in the picture. They're fine. Absolutely. I mean, they're not amazing. I'll be honest. We're going to see some better Imperial Guardsmen later. We'll come to that. So February.
February.
So, some releases. We had a Space Marine Captain in Terminator Armor multi-part kit. Now, the thing with this is, I think it's a really good kit. What are you thinking to this kit? Do you like this? You can build it in a load of different ways. So you can build it with different sorts of weapons, poses, and so on.
It's mid.
You think it's alright? Well, I think the problem with this, though, is that everyone's got the Leviathan box. And the Leviathan box comes with a Space Marine Captain in Terminator armour. And so everyone's already got the monopose version of this. Are they going to bother with this one?
No.
I can't imagine it's sold massively. Although I would presume this is going to continue to sell because, people will pick this up to go as the sort of focal point of their army, I think. And it is a good model. Terminator armour, you can't beat that. I'd be sticking a Terminator helmet on it. We also this month had the releases of some of the kits from the Leviathan box as individual releases. So in this case we had the Heroes of the Chapter, which is the Poker 3, our Lieutenant, whichever way you pronounce it, and the Stern Guard out of the box. We had the Ballista's Dreadnoughts as well.
I like that.
I do like the Ballista's Dreadnought.
It looks like it's been amputated.
I'm going to get around to building that at some point.
On the missile one, for some reason it looks like it's been amputated.
Yeah, well, yeah, maybe so. And an Infernus squad.
That's what you've got.
I do. I've actually painted 3 of them for my Dark Angels. Yeah, very good, aren't they? Yeah, so we had those. We also had Dark Angels Codex. So,
dun, dun, dun.
as we mentioned, there was a Dark Angels box release.
Is that what you started on?
Last month that was released, but this month we had the actual Codex came out. I didn't actually. I started doing the Dark Angels before they released all the new Dark Angels, but not by much. Asmodai. I quite like this model. I think this is a really good model. Apart from I don't like the smoke.
So don't add the smoke then.
No, well, yeah, exactly. I could leave the smoke off. I think that'd be fine.
Give me it.
Yeah. I just think I don't like it when Games Workshop do these sort of effects with, fire and stuff like that. I find it a bit weird.
Yeah.
I think I would rather not have that smoke. But, I'm sure some people like it.
If you're going to do that, at least put it on his head.
Yeah.
Like, around his face to make him look secretive.
Yeah, exactly. We also had Belial. This guy was in the box set we were looking at previously. I do like him.
See, look, they've done it again with the fire.
He's the Grandmaster of the Deathwing, so he's the leader of the Deathwing, which is the first company of the Dark Angels, as I previously mentioned. It's a good model. They do have the fire thing. It's less pronounced, so I don't mind it so much. And some dude on fire. Poor fella. But I think that's a good model.
Are you going to get him and paint him in a green?
I think, my intention is to paint all the Dark Angels characters. It feels like a thing that's worth doing.
But I think
maybe
you should paint him in the bone. I think you should paint him in the green.
You think? Maybe I will. I don't know. I haven't really decided on the scheme because my Dark Angels are quite a distinctive scheme. They use sort of, I've got the red, there's a lot more red. And it's a sort of flamey red. It's in a homage to an army that was featured in White Dwarf in about 1994. So I'd have to think of something special to do with this chap, but I'd have to think about that. So yes, we had Inner Circle Companions. So these guys are sort of like a secretive part of the chapter who keeps some of the secrets of the Dark Angels. Basically, they're secretly into chaos. Probably. Or maybe not. Who knows? These are the Deathwing Knights. Really like these.
You're definitely going to get some of them.
I am definitely going to get these. They are fabulous models. I really like these. I like Terminators. I like Terminators with swords. I like Dark Angels. This is ticking all of those boxes. So I'm into this.
The one on the left design, bottom left.
This guy. Yeah, I like that. Well, I like the shields. I think the shields look lovely. I think
how they don't have any detail on the back. It's just like a plate. Like you've got like the head, and then you've got like the casing above it. Then you've got nothing else like extra detail or.
Yeah, no, it is good. I am into
They
this
do look
idea.
very short though.
I think that's how it's pictured. They are quite big. They're just Terminator size. I think it's because they're wide. They're very thick.
Chunky boy.
Chunky. Yeah, so I've got a couple of these Dark Angels upgrade sets. Got them with my intercessors.
We should go to Leodis at some point.
We probably will do. But yeah, I've got a couple of these sets. I do like the little fella that comes in it. It is good. It's a Watcher in the Dark.
Oh yeah.
With a little book. I've got 2 of these box sets. I've got 2 of them.
Well, you get that in a upgrade.
The upgrade sets that they do now typically have got a lot more stuff in them. There isn't a Space Wolves equivalent one, but that's because the Space Wolves, I think, are going to get a big release at some point this year. We had the Blood Angels this year. We had the Dark Angels. Last year we had the Blood spoilers. But we had the Blood Angels and Dark Angels. I think that this year we're going to see the Space Wolves.
Who else with them?
Well, I don't know, to be honest. I think, because the Ultramarines are maybe do some stuff that's specific to them. Who knows? Maybe the Ultramarines.
But they've already got enough stuff for the Ultramarines. They've got everything.
Yeah, I don't know.
How come the Ultramarines get so much more attention than the other ones?
Oh God, there's an argument for the time.
They're literally the face of the entire franchise.
I think that is because you need to have a face of the franchise. They're relatively neutral in many ways. Blue's a good steady colour to use. I'm sure obviously things explaining the reason they chose the Ultramarines.
I understand why it wouldn't be the Blood Angels because they're a bit separate, aren't they?
Well, all the other ones are quite separate, to be honest.
No, but they're a lot more like.
Well, the Blood Angels are basically vampires.
You wouldn't want that.
The Space Wolves are wolves. Werewolves.
I understand why the Space Wolves.
And the Dark Angels are basically chaos.
But then what about the other ones though?
Who knows? But anyway, there we go.
Who cares about the other ones though, do they?
We had the Combat Patrol. So all the things.
I don't like that Combat Patrol.
I think at the very least. So the previous Combat Patrols we had were a bit rubbish because, for instance, you had a Blood Angels one. This is prior to this year. Or prior to 2024. We had a Combat Patrol for the Blood Angels, which is all focused on stealth. Which is really not, they are, close combat monsters and all that sort of thing.
Why would you focus on stealth in a game like this?
Well, you go and speak to Games Workshop about that.
How would it be stealth anyway? It's a board game.
Well, in this year, I mean, I think this is a good box because you've got the plasma guns and so on that the Hellblasters.
How do you use stealth in a board game? How does that work? How does one work?
But in this case, well, no, but you do because you can hide behind stuff and stuff. There are factions who use stealth. But the Blood Angels are not famous for that. They're very much focused on close combat.
Do they bite their enemies while they're doing it?
Well, maybe if they've got a helmet on, be difficult. But
take it off.
But this Dark Angels box Combat Patrol box set is more themed towards what I would expect of the Dark Angels, which is plasma gun infantry, some shoot stuff, but also something Deathwing styled. So you've got the Blade Guard veterans. So I think this is a solid box that actually feels like a Dark Angels box, as opposed to just a box where they went, which chapter should we make this one? Should we make it Dark Angels? Yeah, alright. Which is basically what the previous ones felt like. So, in March we had, first and foremost, I mean, you've got some Blood Bowl tree, man.
I am Groot.
Yeah, I don't think you've ever been a fan of these Blood Bowl style tree men, which are a little bit, they're different in style to the tree men that I remember and the sort of stuff you have in Age of Sigmar still.
And the ones
they're a bit squatter, a bit thicker.
They're a lot small. They're not as good as the tree men in other Blood Bowl in the video game.
Yeah, well they changed the style of them recently.
They're so much fatter and shorter.
I quite like these. They're all right. But the main event here has got to be the gnomes, the goose.
There's always tree men with the gnomes in there.
There is, but let's be clear about this. It's not the gnomes I've come for. I came for the gnomes. I stayed for the goose.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at this. Look at him. Magnificent. Miniature of the year for me.
He looks
miniature of the year.
Jelly bean a bit like.
It's a goose. It's not a little dog.
Yeah.
But you've got a snarling badger.
Jelly bean would act though, isn't it?
Yeah. We got the snarling badger. You got the running fox. I like these gnomes. They're excellent. At some point, I am very tempted to buy this Blood Bowl team.
Wait, have they literally just recruited a fox onto the team? Because there's no one next to it.
Yeah, they've got a fox runner. He's your runner, I guess.
Just a fox.
Yeah, well, yeah.
How does one tackle a fox and how does he pick up the ball?
Carefully, I would say. Also in March, we've got a big mech.
Oh,
a big mech. So this was a box set they released, but it came with. The key thing is this. I love this model. I think this is one of my favourite models of the year. I might. Oh no, big exoskeleton going on. He's controlling all this big stuff. He's got.
How does he control?
Shock attack gun hand. I think this is brilliant. I love this. He's got a little joystick. Look, he's controlling it with a joystick. I think this is great. I will buy him and paint him. It will happen. I'm not sure when, but
I really like him that much.
You don't what? But why?
He's a bit goofy.
Well, yeah. You got alternative head for him, I think.
I don't like him being goofy.
Drill arm going on.
I do prefer that alternative head.
You with the big metal mouth thing going on.
And with his jaw open.
Yeah, I quite this one. Just give a serious look as he blasts someone with a hand-mounted shock attack gun. That doesn't sound
like something an Ork would do, though, does it?
Well, maybe not. This came along with. You see that shock boost? Oh yeah. Oh, it's a tractor. He's a tractor gun thing.
What's that?
The shock boost is on his back. A tractor gun's like a. It pulls things towards it, yeah.
What's the point in that? Then?
That sort of thing. Well, there used to be like a tractor cannon. I'm going back to Warhammer 40,000 Second Edition. I don't know if it's been a thing since, possibly. But you used to basically lift a miniature really high in the air and just drop it, and then hitting the ground would do the killing. But yeah, and we had this box come out with him. Load of Stompa boys. Yeah, we had the big miniature.
Look how compared to him at night.
Yeah, massive, innit? Massive.
Wait, is that like the massive knight, or is that like a tall top?
Yeah, that's a massive knight. That's a massive
knight. The one we saw at
that big? About that big? Yeah, about a foot tall. Yeah, this is a big miniature. You could have had one of these. When you bought all your Orks at one time, you had this in your shopping basket and you walked away. But anyway, I had to focus on this. This is possibly my favourite miniature of the year.
That's bigger than a knight, almost 2 knights. That's almost 2 feet tall. That's tall. That's almost as tall as the the shortest woman in the world?
I mean, I'm focused more on that on your big Stompa, except because it's about miniatures that's about 8 years old. But here we are. Also, in March we had these Baneblade tanks. So these are super heavy tanks for Legions Imperialis. These are Baneblades, I think. Shadow Swords. They're Shadow Swords. Basically, lots of variants of super heavy tanks with various big plasma gun, bombard thing going on. So we had those. Legions Imperialis was a bit of a favourite of ours. We bought that. We played a few games. We haven't played much this year, have we? To be fair, we need to get into gear and play a bit more. But we didn't start the year, didn't we? We had a few games.
We said we were going to play it when we first got it. And then we played a couple games and we never touched it really.
Yeah, we did. Well, it's fairly typical of us. We also got Hero Quest and we're going to play that a lot, didn't we?
No, I did enjoy Hero Quest.
I enjoyed Hero Quest, but we never picked up again.
It was
afterwards. Cost quite a lot of money, and then we barely played it.
Well, it was like Dungeons and Dragons.
It's sort of like Dungeons and Dragons Light. So also in March, so these were all the Adepticon reveals. So we had Adepticon, which is a big convention in America. Lots of miniature stuff being displayed, and Games Workshop did some reveals.
In America, despite Warhammer World being.
No, not ever. A lot of the stuff happens in this country. At the start of the year, you have Las Vegas Open and Adepticon, which take place in America. Later in the year, you got some stuff going on at Warhammer World and the like. But yeah, we had some new Chaos Space Marines. We had this new, I think it's a Champion of Chaos. It's a flying chap, another flying Champion of Chaos.
Oh, he's cool.
And these were to accompany the Chaos Space Marine Codex, which came out at the time. And there was a box set of loads and loads of Chaos Space Marines.
The best idea ever.
What's that?
Chaos Orks.
I believe that was probably moved to apparently the Orks are resistant to chaos though. So they wrote that into the law. But I think at one time there definitely was Chaos Orks as a thing, as in the miniature range back in the Rogue Trader days. I like this chap. I think this guy with the clawed hands flying around. He's another one. I don't really want to do a Night Lord's army, but I'd quite happily pick this chap up and get him painted up. I do like him.
To me, the things on his back ruin it.
I'm sure you could omit them if you wanted to. Spikes with skulls on. Yeah, you could probably omit those if you wanted to.
And then obviously change that helmet.
Well, yeah. Yeah, but there we go.
That's just a tradition of me, isn't it?
Also at Adepticon, we had the announcement of a new edition of AOS. So Age of Sigmar was getting a new edition. At this stage, all we knew was a few brief snippets of information and a little note about the Great Hold Round. Skaven came back. Basically, new Skaven. New Skaven miniatures, big range of them.
About the lion.
No, the lion was the year before. This is about. Yeah, this is the new edition of AOS.
Oh yeah, the Skaven, yeah.
Yeah, so this was a new edition with a whole new range of Skaven. We will come to that. So, April. So in April, there was a bit of contention because Games Workshop unceremonially retired a load of armies from AOS.
Why?
Basically, because the Old World had come out, they wanted to put some of the factions who were previously in AOS into the Old World. I suffered from this because about 3 or 4 years ago, I started to do a Cities of Sigmar army. I painted a War Griffin for the Cities of Sigmar army. Yeah, there's my display case over there, and a squad of Shadow Warriors who were like elf stealthy warriors things. And none of them are now relevant. None of them are allowed in the Cities of Sigmar anymore. I could.
Why do they do that?
Why do they do that? Well, in this case, they wanted to divide out the factions.
But like, why didn't they just make it eligible in like the old world?
I think they wanted to make it specifically some armies were the Old World and some armies are AOS, and so they overnight some things just got wiped out altogether though.
But like, isn't that like? First off, losing them profit because that's less miniatures they can sell, and then also it's making people angry because
I tell you what, if you went on Twitter back then, they were bloody angry.
Isn't it like a lose-lose way for them?
Yeah, but I think putting the Games Workshop hat on for whatever reason. I don't know why I want to defend Games Workshop. I think the idea was they wanted to be able to define which range was rich, have specific sets of miniatures for each one.
You can do that. Why don't you just let them keep the current armies and then from now on sell them in The old world?
Well, you would think so, and a lot of people. I mean, I'm guessing part of the reason might have been some of the stuff they got rid of wasn't selling, so that's possible.
Well,
but there
that's
was some.
fine
There
then.
was some very popular. So some of the original. I always got it because they did away with some of the very original Age of Sigmar Stormcast stuff. Not because I like Stormcast specifically, but there was some really good stuff for converted Space Marines.
Wait, is this why you like buying stuff in whole so much? So then you'd have to worry about it disappearing later.
Well, it is not a bad thing to have a load of the grey plastic, so you've got it for posterity. It's not a bad thing to have it all stocked up. No, it's just because I like buying stuff. It's just the Warhammer way.
This family's just really good at it, isn't it?
I don't think that this was a good way to market it, though. To be honest, by showing us a big picture of look at what you could have won, Matthew. Look at all these wonderful miniatures. Gone now. Yeah, so it was rather contentious. That's your Stormcast gone. This was a lot of the original range of Stormcast.
Can I just have a quick look at it?
There was some good stuff in there.
The Liberatores looks cool.
The Sequitors were fantastic for converting to like Dark Angels and
I
the
really
like.
like that. Liberatores.
The Liberators. Yeah, I mean, I think, to be fair, they redid the Stormcast range and made them a bit sleeker. I think more of the upset. I mean, they did away with all of the Skaven stuff, but to be fair, we have new Skaven stuff now, so that's probably part of the reason.
Can I just look at the Skaven again? No, the Skaven.
Oh, Skaven.
The only thing I'm really sad about losing that is the Warplot Jezels. That looks cool.
Well, I think the Doom
And
Slayer
the
was.
Plague Priest. The Plague Priest looks cool.
Yeah, to be fair, we did get new miniatures to Skaven, so that was the reason. They were getting rid of the old stuff to replace them with new stuff. Bone Splitters, so these are your Savage Orcs, and
Savage Orc and Boar Boys. That looks.
I don't know if there's still stuff in the.
How does that not sell?
How does the Boar Boys not sell? I don't know, but it might. There could be other reasons. I think there's some of this might be some of the old Fantasy Battle miniatures they put into AOS, and they were just doing away with them, possibly.
And the Worm Prophet.
Some Chaos stuff as well.
Now look at
Carnage,
the
Beasts of Chaos.
Oh, look at that bull! Why would you...
Yeah, well,
There's
I think
so
the Beasts of Chaos were their own range, and they took them out, put them into but they've gone to Fantasy Battle. I mean, it is annoying because if you've got an army, you're gonna have to take all the bases off and put them onto the square bases. But they're not gone forever.
At least you can still use them.
I think some of the Stormcast stuff is gone.
Well, you don't have to if you don't bother battling with them.
Yeah, but some of the stuff was just gone. But I mean, they have to make room to sell new stuff, so here we are, is what it is, isn't it?
Make them all.
Yeah. Anyway, so also in April, we're still in April? We're in April. Yeah.
I remember when that came out.
This was Warhammer's White Dwarf magazines.
Isn't that
500th issue?
Yeah.
And they did this miniature of the White Dwarf himself.
Wait, did
Brindle.
we not know who the White Dwarf was before this?
Yeah, he's had all sorts of lore written about him, but they did a nice new model for him. He had models in the
why
past.
is he so special? What's so special about him?
I think they called the magazine White Dwarf before Warhammer was really a thing, to be honest. White Dwarf magazine goes back to the early days of Games Workshop, and I think it was always called White Dwarf, and they created the White Dwarf to go along with the magazine rather than vice versa.
It just doesn't look very...
But 500 issues of White Dwarf, I mean, we've got some old White Dwarves on the wall, we do love.
Got all 500 issues.
I haven't, but I do have all the issues I have most of the issues from 1991 through to 1996, which was the time when I used to buy it, so, all down there. There they are.
I wasn't even a thought back then.
No, well, I was actually your age. 1991, I was 11, same age as you. So, yeah, there you go.
Wow, you're old.
Well, yeah, that is a thing. Anyway, so that was April, so into May. So in May, we had the announcement of what was going to be in the new AOS box, Skaventide, as it was called.
AOS, so.
You don't like AOS? Well,
you know that.
I do know that, but every time I show you some stuff like you go, well, that's cool, and you like it. So I think you do like it a bit.
Well, I don't like most of it. There's just a couple good miniatures in there.
So we've got this new box, Skaven, as we mentioned, versus Stormcast. This was the content. So we had some new Starcasts.
What is that?
I'm going to whip past these. Every time I look at some new score, they all look the same, don't they? Some guys in armour. Lots of guys in armour. Armoury, flamey swordy armour. Griffhound. Griffhound. They're sort of half griffin and half dog or something.
That's lovely.
Night Quester. To be fair, I joke. I do like the Stormcast. I appreciate what they are. They aren't really for me. But, you know, I mean, this model looks cool. I do like this Night Quest, so that's a good model.
Yeah,
it is cool.
Okay.
Is that a he or a she? I can't tell.
She, I think.
Could be a she. Yeah, they do embrace the she's within the Stormcast, which is good.
Well, he's okay.
Inclusive.
He looks okay.
I think they are cool. They're not really for me, but, you know, I think if I was going to go...
Oh, they did bring the prosecutors back.
Yeah. Well, obviously the Prosecutor's got reissued with newer versions. I sort of prefer the wings on the old versions, but these are good as well. So I'm not. They're all right.
I like the spears.
Yeah, the tridents they've got. Yeah, they are cool.
No, I didn't even mean the spears. I meant the shields. But
oh, the shields. Oh, yeah.
I didn't even mean to say.
No,
spears.
I mean they're very similar to the original Prosecutors. I'm glad they reissued them because the original Prosecutors we used to be gold dust on.
Those shields look like something. I
got 6 Prosecutors off eBay and oh god, it was horrendous to get them. Cost me a fortune.
Something like the Spartans or the Greek.
Yeah, they've got a bit of that sort of gist. Well, with the tridents as well. They are good models, the Prosecutors. You know, Liberators as well.
Oh, the Liberators are the ones I like.
Yeah, well, yeah, but these are new versions of them. Less chunky, bit sleeker.
Oh, I like the chunky
good models though. Well, I like the chainmail as well. I do like the chainmail.
The chunky pals.
Let's get into the good stuff though, Matthew. Let's get into the good stuff. The Skaven. Here we go.
I don't like Skaven. You know I don't.
You don't like Skaven?
It looks too much like Jellybean.
Well, that's true.
Reminds me of Jellybean.
Filled in the shade of Jellybean's our dog. You know.
She's a tiny little rat.
She's a chihuahua. So we've got a rat fella riding on a rat.
That's.
Do you like rat fella on a rat?
It's like that's like slavery, isn't it?
I think this is more of a beast rat, so you know it's not.
No, but still, it's like you're riding your brother in.
Well, you know, sort of.
Slavery.
You got a Grey Seer. These are sort of like the leaders. They're sort of like, you know, I think they're wizards as well and stuff like that.
Everything.
Cool.
This is
I like that. Warplock engineer. So they've got a lot of engineering devices. They use what's called warpstone, which is a sort of form of raw chaos.
Why did he make
Gatling cannon?
Why did he make the thingy the? You know what I mean.
The telescope.
Yeah. Why did he make it?
I haven't got an answer to that.
Well, that just doesn't seem very simple.
We also have this Gatling blaster thing.
I don't think that's how vision works.
Rat ogres.
That looks like you.
Rat ogre.
That's a combination.
You think it looks like me?
You and Jellybean combined. Is that a warpstone in its shoulder?
Yeah, he's got warpstone infused into him to make him that massive, I think. That's what happened. Yeah, I like the rat ogres. I like these Warplock Jezzails. I like the fact it's a 2-man team.
That's
yeah,
us.
I'm into this.
That's you, that's me.
Yeah, there we are. And then we've got just normal run-of-the-mill Skaven Rat Men. And there you go. So that is the new edition.
There's so many jelly beans. Did they clone it?
I think possibly. I think it's a good box. I didn't buy it. It is still available, I think, in various places.
If you like it so much, why didn't you buy it?
Because it's quite a lot of money, and I had a lot of miniatures already. Well, I did, and I haven't paid any of that either. So you know, yeah. So we had that. That was the big one. We also had some other bits and pieces. This guy.
That's just a giant brain.
It is a giant brain. It's a guy with a giant brain.
How much does he have?
I think these are 40k. I was going to say, is this Necromunda or 40k? This is for Genestealer cults, which are. Yeah. Do you know what the Genestealer cults are?
Yeah.
They're sort of humans have been infested by Genestealers who are sort of Tyranids.
Yeah.
This guy's just got a massive brain thing.
It's like the thing from the Leviathan, the giant floating.
Oh, the giant brain bug thing. Yeah,
he's like.
I just love the weirdness.
Einstein's great grandchild.
Yeah, I think one of the things I've liked about 2024, one of the highlights of 2024, has just been the raw amount of weird miniatures. There's been a lot, and I love a weird miniature. And this was sort of at the forefront. This was the first of the lot. But you know, this is good. We also had Adeptus Mechanicus for Horus Heresy.
I don't like that tank. I just thought.
Well, I think this tank is okay. I like the design myself. I like the sort of big track thing in this sort of
I don't.
World War One style.
I wouldn't mind that.
The front
Obviously,
of it.
the viewers can't see my hand, but
Yeah, the front of it.
You just
I'm
put.
pointing at it.
I like that,
Yeah.
but that bit ruins it.
Oh, the point's a bit. I'm sure you could do something about it. If you didn't like it, you could always chop that a little bit off and do something else with that. I'm sure.
Because
yeah.
I like that. That'd be useful. You could ram other tanks with that.
Yeah.
But what's the point in that?
Well,
It's just
yeah.
a waste of metal.
This is a troop transport. We're going to be carrying some big robots. Big robots. They're good.
That's
These are
the
good.
bit I liked, isn't it?
Yeah, I do like these. I think these guys are fantastic. I think they're much better.
Fantastic. When we first viewed these, you said they were amazing. They were beautiful. And
Well, I think fantastic's as good as amazing. There's more words
not
for
beautiful though, is it?
good. I think they are. I think they are great miniatures. They are better than the 40k AdMech robots,
Oh, yeah.
which are a little bit more
I
Robbie the
think
Robot or something.
All of Horus Heresy troops just look generally better.
I think they sometimes do. It depends what you're talking about. I mean, there's all. I've got time for both systems. The thing I like about 40k is the variety of other factions like the
That's
Xenos and the like. But and the fact that Chaos are so much more distinct rather than just being another faction of
Wait, Dad, what
Space
year
Marines.
is Warhammer? Oh yeah, 40k in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let me.
There's a clue in the name. Yeah, see this guy who's got the big rocket
this is the
shoulder
guy you
mounted
really
thing.
like.
I do like him. I think he's good.
I just don't
and
like
lots
the
of
shoulder
guns.
mounted thing.
He's not as good as these guys. I like that big buzzsaw thing going
I
on.
don't like the shoulder thing. I think it ruins
No,
it.
well, you can always leave that off, I guess.
I guess.
That'll be fine. I like this
I
Tech
like
Priest
it,
as well. I
yeah.
think it's a good miniature.
It's
But
better
yeah,
than the other tech priests. It's useless.
there was some more stuff. So within the box, we had the infantry. So these servitor guys, didn't like them as much. We've seen the things I really liked, which were the big robots. Into June. So in June, first up, we had a new edition of a board game called Talisman. So Talisman's a game I used to play a load when I was a teenager because me and my friend Harry had, he had a copy of Talisman. We used to play it a lot. No, he's not Harry Potter. It's my friend Harry. But yeah, so basically the game, it's like a board game. You have to work around the board to ultimately get into the centre. It gets harder and harder as you go. You play as an adventurer.
Wait, how? How do you get into the middle?
There's different points where you can pass over and get into the middle. But you have to get certain things
That's cool.
to be able to do it.
That's
And you've got lots of different warriors and stuff like that who you can play as.
Well, is it a bit like Hero Quest?
It's a bit like Hero Quest, a little bit more adult than Hero Quest, but yeah, it is quite good. We used to like it a lot. I'm sure it's still pretty good. Yeah, but yeah. So we had this new edition of Talisman. Very good. That I thought I'd chuck that in there because
Very cool, very nice.
Just because I used to love Talisman. It is a good game. I would recommend it. Also in June, this fella. Look at the state of him. So this guy is called what's he called? So these are this is the Malstrain Coalescence. Basically, the Malstrain are sort of Genestealer, Tyrannid infested humans from Necromunda. Like I was saying about the weird stuff.
Yeah.
Well, here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, this fella is not having a good time.
Wait, can he still feel all that?
Oh yeah, he's a living thing. Yeah, that's the
Imagine
thing.
going through that.
I just thought this was fantastic. I thought.
No,
I'd
wait,
chuck
is
it in.
he still thinking of the same things he felt before?
There was no before. He was born like this.
Oh.
That's how he is. That's just how he is.
No, so he didn't live.
So he's got the. If you look at the top
he
bit.
didn't live a normal human life before.
No, if you look at the top bit, he's sort of half Tyrannid and half human.
But where did they get the half human part then?
So Genestealers are called Genestealers because they infest their genes into
that's
other races, including humans.
That's disgusting.
So they breed like half human, half Genestealer
That's
hybrids.
disgusting.
So there you go. But I think that's great.
Wait, but how do they do it though? Do they have to convince the humans, or they just inject them?
I think so. You get the cult, so that's why you have the Genestealer cult because they are a cult. They sort of worship the four-armed god, I think it's called, which is the Genestealers. Six-armed cult, four-armed cult, something like that.
That is disgusting.
Four-armed god, even.
Wait, so he knows that he's like a monster. and like
he is pretty aware of it. I think he's cool with that, and he will kill you and so on.
And but like, how does he eat though? Is that just like his tongue, or is he just? Is he just like,
I'm sure he finds ways. I'm sure there are ways.
maybe he
or
eats at his butt.
maybe they didn't think it through that clearly. But we've also got. Oh no.
You should show that
Let me do this
picture to Mum. She'd love it.
So we've also got this fella. So this is also from the Mal strain.
He's got a little pet.
So again, these are a Necromunda cult. It's specifically Necromunda. Necromunda like doing weird stuff. This is, I think, the lore of this is he's a tech priest who decided to try and train a Genestealer or something.
Oh, look how cute he is.
I read the lore 6 months ago. I've not read it since. I'm not going to bother again.
Look
He's a little pet Genestealer. Oh, bless him. Bless him.
He's like jelly bean.
Again, I just love the weirdness. I always love the weirdness.
You should
But I think the idea is this is a tech priest who has gone a bit off the rails and he's trying to breed Genestealers. So he's like the head of a Genestealer cult himself, basically.
So he's made his own Genestealer cult.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, but for his own nefarious purposes. Yeah, no, I like that one a lot. So that was the first half of the year. Join us next time, and we'll be looking at the second half of the year from our review of 2024 in the world of Warhammer.
We are not going to record in 5 minutes.
I mean, we have to be suspiciously wearing the same clothes, and you know.
And like, we're going to have the same hair. We're going to be.
I mean, I'm literally going to press stop and then just start again in a second, and we'll just get straight into it.
We're lazy. So
we
do it all.
Well, we've been efficient. Filming back to back. It's a thing.
Are we?
Yeah, it's all good. Right. Anyway, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.
Oh,
Bye.
sorry, I was looking the wrong way. Bye.